What's up everybody, it's Nate and I'm super excited for this one today because I'm going to show you exactly how to use the M1 Finance app for investing. The M1 Finance app allows you to invest in thousands of diversified portfolios and even lets you automate your investments, so you just need to sit back, relax, and let your money do the work for you. That means you basically just set up your investing goals and the app does the rest, unlike that pile of dishes that's been sitting in your sink since last week. I don't think there's an app for that yet. I'm going to show you how to sign up, how to use the app, and some of my all-time favorite features from M1 Finance. And if you follow everything I'm about to show you in this video, you'll even get $10 worth of free shares when you sign up with M1 Finance. So enough talk, pull out those phones and let's get started. While you're doing that though, if you like this video and you want to see even more breakdowns and reviews just like this one, be sure to hit, smash, destroy, or do whatever it is you do to that thumbs up button below. Thank you so much for doing that. We really appreciate that over here. And now, without further ado, let me show you exactly how to get started with M1 Finance and how to get your $10 worth of free shares. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do here is go to wherever you download apps. For me, that's going to be the Google Play Store since I have an Android. Go ahead and click on that and then just type in M1 Finance app. So M1 Finance, it should pop up right away. M1 Finance app. It's going to be this white M with kind of the blue background. All you're gonna have to do is click install. Should only take a few minutes to install. Once that's all set up and installed, just go ahead and click open. Once the app is completely installed on your phone, this next part is the most important part, because if you don't do this part correctly, you're not gonna get your $10 worth of free shares from M1 Finance. Below this video, there is an invite link. The invite link should be the first line of the description. So if you're on your phone, you need to click that arrow and click the first link that you see in the description. Do that before you do anything else here. All that is a referral code, and by clicking that link, all you're doing is letting M1 Finance know that you are ready for your $10 worth of free shares. Once you click the link, the app should launch automatically, and from here, we just need to continue with the registration and get your account set up on M1 Finance. Now that that's been completed, let's head on back over to the app and collect your $10 worth of free shares. It's gonna bring up a page like this. You can kind of go through. It's gonna give you a few of the cool things that we're gonna talk about today. M1's been checking, customized portfolios, fractional shares. We're gonna go over a little bit of all of that as we go through, but right now just go ahead and click on sign up now. Give them a good email and password. And remember, all of this can be changed too as you go through, so don't worry about if you set up the wrong email, the wrong password. You'll be able to change your password and stuff later, so that's not super important. So once you've set up your email and password, just click done and sign up now. It's gonna then ask you to confirm your email address, so whatever email you set up the M1 Finance account to, make sure you use it often enough to have access to it on a regular basis. Go ahead and click confirm here. Immediately right after that, you're gonna get a screen that says you've unlocked 1 year of free M1 Plus. This is actually one of the cards that M1 Finance has. It basically allows you to spend the money that you have in this investment account and earn 1.5 to 10% cash back on every purchase that you make. We're gonna go ahead and skip this for now, but if you wanna learn more about this card and are interested in the M1 Finance Plus, we can definitely make a review video about it, so let me know in the comments below if that's something you guys wanna see. Go ahead and click skip for now, and then you're gonna come to this screen where it's actually gonna start asking you some information that M1 Finance is going to know. So it says opening an investment account legally requires M1 Finance to first obtain some personal information. So you kind of have two steps here. You can open an investment account and then you're going to start funding your account. But before we do any of that, we're gonna go over to our email verification that M1 Finance sent. Now it says down here that you can actually do this at any time, but I recommend doing it right away. That way you don't forget. So wherever you get your emails, mine in particular is a Gmail. Go on over there and then just click verify email. This is just letting M1 Finance know that you are a legit person and a real human being that is going to invest on their platform and not a robot. It should bring you to a screen like this, and that's pretty much it for the verification process. So once you've done that, go ahead and click continue. And once you do that, it'll bring you back to your account. But we're actually going to close out of this for now and go back to the M1 Finance app and continue registering. Once you're back to this screen right here, just go ahead and click continue. Now it's going to start getting a little bit more about your personal identity. So right now it's asking for your phone number, so go ahead and just put that in. After that, you can go to this drop down box and kind of select which way you want to receive the code from M1 Finance. You can choose a phone call or a text message. We're just going to do text message just to make it super easy. It will send the code and then just go ahead and click allow. If it doesn't allow you to put that code in automatically, then you'll have to go ahead and click this box right here and then punch in the code yourself. It only takes a few seconds and it should be wherever you asked it to be, so whether it's a phone call or your text messages. After you've done that, go ahead and click continue. Put in your legal name as opposed to your illegal name. Can't really tell you what mine is because, well, it's illegal. It's going to ask you to confirm that, so just make sure sure everything is spelt right, you didn't make any mistakes or spaces or whatever it may be. Once you've confirmed that, go ahead and click confirm. It's gonna ask where your country of citizenship is. So we are United States of America. So go ahead and click that and then continue. Enter your address. So wherever you live, wherever your personal address is, go ahead and punch that in now. Once you got that in there, double check everything, make sure everything's spelled correctly, then hit continue. Date of birth is up next. So just go ahead and click the box and put in your date of birth. Once you do that, go ahead and hit continue. Put in your employment status. So we are employed. Go ahead and input whoever your employer is. Occupation and industry. It's going to be a little bit difficult for me. Where's other on here? I don't see YouTuber. Once you've selected your occupation and industry, or whatever is as close as you possibly could, I couldn't get exactly what I do for a living, so I just put in educational professional. Next. Go ahead and click continue. It's gonna ask for your social security number, so go ahead and put that in now, and then hit continue again. Annual income, so go ahead and insert whatever to the closest, I would say probably 1,000 of what you make. Next is your total net worth, and as you can see, there is a ton of different choices here, so go ahead and just pick whichever is closest for you. Next is your total liquid net worth, so how much actual cash you have in hand. Again, lots of choices, so go ahead and just select whichever is closest for you. And this is where we start getting into the nitty-gritty of the M1 Finance app. What is your level of experience? So this is going to help the app actually curate some content and investing strategies specifically for you. So for this video, I'm going to go ahead and put none here. Next up is your risk tolerance. So they want to know if you're willing to take on a lot of risk or no risk at all. For this video, we're going to go ahead and put down low. We want to be pretty safe here. Your investment horizon. So do you want to invest in the short term? So 3 years or less, an average amount of time. So 4 to 7 years, or for the long term, which is going to be 8 years plus. I'm in it for the long term. I'm going to select long, but for whatever it is for you, go ahead and select that now. We're going to click on long though. And how important is liquidity? So how important is your cash over time? We're going to click very important. It's going to ask you a series of questions here, and if any of these apply, go ahead and select them now. I am affiliated with or work for a broker, not us. I am a 10% shareholder or director of a publicly traded company, again, not us. I am or an immediate family member is a current or former public official, not me again, and none of these apply to me, which is the most common and what actually applies to me. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave that selected, but again, select any of these that may apply to you. M1 Finance needs to know that for legal reasons, so do not skip this if any of these apply. Next up, go ahead and click continue. Promise we are almost completely set up here with the M1 Finance app. You can go ahead next and set up a trusted contact. So whoever your trusted contact is, go ahead and put in their info now. Or if you want to do this later, you can completely skip it. We are going to go ahead and skip this for now. And that is it for the first step. The second step is just funding your account. So actually setting up an account that M1 Finance can draw money from for you to invest your money. And it says if you invest $1,000 or more within the next 14 days, you'll actually get $500 in bonus money to invest. And you don't actually need to invest $1,000 into your M1 Finance account. All you need to do is just deposit $1,000 and you'll get that $500 bonus. So if you're interested in doing that, I'll show you how to fund your account right now. First, just go ahead and click continue. It's going to bring up this screen right here where it says M1 Finances uses Plaid to connect your account. Plaid is super cool. I've used them in the past for all of my investing stuff. I've never had a problem with them. They're basically just a third party that connects your bank account with M1 Finance. If you want to learn more about Plaid, I will leave a link in the description below. But for now, let's go ahead and click continue because we're going to set up our bank account. It's going to give you a ton of different options here to select from. You can choose Chase, Bank of America, Citibank Online. If you don't see your bank though, you can go ahead and search right here. Next, it'll ask you to actually send your credentials. That's going to send it over to the bank so they can actually verify your account and the funding measures. This wheel is going to spin for a little while because it's actually communicating with your bank right now. So it might take a few minutes to do this. So don't panic. Everything is working just fine. And then it'll give you the option of where you want your money to come from that bank account. So do you want it to come from your checking, your savings, or whatever actual account that you have with that bank? Once you've selected where you want your money to come from to fund your account, go ahead and click continue. And there you have it. Your account has been successfully linked to M1 Finance. So now you can actually go out and start investing your money with M1 Finance. Next, it's going to bring up a window for you to make your initial deposit. The initial deposit here is going to be set up automatically for $100, but you can go $100 $100 or anything more than that. You actually can't invest anything less than that. At first, the initial deposit has to be at least $100, or you can just skip this for now. So if you don't want to put $100 in just yet, then you can actually skip this and come back later. And there you have it. There is the home page for the M1 Finance app. And that's pretty much it. Your account is now registered and you are ready to start investing with M1 Finance. From here, I'm going to go a little bit deeper into the app and show you exactly how to use the app, all of the ins and outs, and some of my favorite features from the app itself. And don't worry, it is super easy to use and super easy to understand. But before you go out and make your very first investment with M1 Finance, there are just a few quick things that you should understand. All right, now that you have the app set up, let me go through some of the coolest features that M1 has to offer and show you some of my personal favorite things about this app and M1 Finance in general. One of the coolest things about M1 Finance is this pie feature that's actually on the screen right now. You can choose different securities, all for the amount of money that you're going to invest. So let me show you exactly what that means. If you're on the home page right now, go ahead and click choose securities. You can actually choose from a range of individual stocks here. So they've got all your big players like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Tesla. And of course, they've got some of your biggest funds like VTI, the Vanguard, the VU, the SPY for the S&P 500 ETF. You can go over to the expert pies. These are going to give you a little bit more in-depth information on some of the other types of funds and stocks that you can choose from. As you can see, you have an entire range here from ultra conservative to moderate. These are going to be all kind of information and different types of stocks in here that the experts are going to recommend to you based on all of those questions that you gave them before. Let's now go back to stocks though. So if you go back over to the individual stocks section and you click on something like Apple, it's going to bring up all of the information on Apple in the stock market. So you can actually go through and see exactly what their stock price has been over the past few days. You can go back from a week to a month to actually 6 months and even 5 years. So you can see the full progression of Apple stock over about 5 years of time. It's going to give you exactly what Apple is currently trading at. It's going to give you its market cap, the PE ratio, all of this cool information that's going to help you decide if you want to invest in that stock or not. If this is a stock that you're interested in owning, all you need to do is go ahead and click add to pie. You can add it and remove it as many times as you want to. In addition, if Apple is something that you might be interested in investing in later on down the road, you can go ahead up here and click this watch button. Once you do that, it'll say that you're watching it. And if we go back here, you can go over to your watch list and now Apple is going to appear there. So if Apple hits a specific price, then you can actually go over into this watch list section and invest in it when you want to. So you don't necessarily need to invest in it right now. You can just keep your eye on it for safekeeping for a possible future investment. Now, in order to start adding slices to your M1 Finance investing pie, you do need to have at least $100 invested into the app. So if you did skip the minimum deposit of $100 before, you're going to need to add funds into your account right now in order to start adding slices. Don't worry, it's super easy to do that right now. All you need to do is go over to this transfers tab, which should be right in the middle of your M1 Finance app, and then click move money. It's going to ask you how you want to move your money. So one-time transfer, reoccurring transfer, smart transfer, etc. You can just click on one-time transfer from now and then click the from account, which can be whatever bank account you set up, and then the to account, which is going to be your M1 Finance investing account. And then you should just need to click this transfer button right here. Once you've done that, it'll appear on this screen back here that you have a pending transfer. It usually takes about 1 business day or so for the money to actually hit your M1 Finance account. Once it's done that though, you'll be able to start investing and actually set up your account. So let's go back over to invest now. If you go back to choose your securities and let's say you want to invest in Apple, go ahead and click on Apple and then click add to pie. Let's say you also want to invest in Amazon. So you can go ahead and click Amazon and click add to pie. And of course, let's add some funds in here. Click the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. Go ahead and click add to pie. And let's do the SPY. Go ahead and add that to pie too. You can change all of this at any time. In particular, I'm just showing you this for an example. Of course, you don't have to invest in any of these companies. And if you want a really, really easy way to do that, you don't even actually need to click the company itself. You can just go ahead and click this check mark right there. You don't want to actually go into the company and see all of their credentials. You can just go ahead and click the check mark. Once you've done that though, just go ahead and click done one up in the top right corner. That's actually going to create your pie. Once you've done that, M1 Finance is going to ask you to create a portfolio name for the pie you just created. So let's just go ahead and make this example 1 for now, and then you can set up a description if you want to. So we'll just go ahead and put in for video and then just click done. And there you have it. So now you have your pie all set up. This is one of the coolest things that M1 Finance offers. It allows you to actually split up your investment and buy fractional shares of all of these companies. The cool thing though about M1 Finance is you don't have to invest $3,000 in order to invest in Amazon. What you can do is buy a fractional share of Amazon for whichever amount that you have for your monthly investment. So for this case, it's going to be 25% of my $100 is going to be allocated towards Amazon every single time I invest. I can switch that. So if I go ahead and click this, I can move slices, I can move it to a different pie, I can remove it completely, or I can change the percentage. So I can, let's move this up to 75% just to show you the difference here. So I kind of moved a few things around here, but as you can see, now I have Amazon at 75%, which means 75% of the money that I invest in this pie is going to go towards Amazon. And I kind of lowered everything else just for this example to 5%, 5%, and 15%. And you can actually see everything up in the pie right here. And of course, you can have multiple different pies here. You don't actually have to have just one. You can create a totally separate pie. Now you have a completely new pie set up. So now you can go add slices and it'll take you right back over to the page where you can select any stock you want. And remember, if you don't see a stock on this particular page, you can always go up to search and search it if you'd like to. So that is all about how to set up a pie on M1 Finance. And I want to show you one other really cool thing on this app before we go. We have a few other tabs here. This spend tab is all about the M1 Finance Plus. So we talked about that before. That is actually a card that is going to be connected to your bank account that allows you to spend money right from your M1 Finance account. It's got a lot of cool features like 10% cash back, and the card is actually metal itself and it has no annual fee. But remember, it is a credit card at the end of the day. So if you do want to apply for something like that, please keep in mind that you are applying for a credit card. And of course, you can get the M1 Finance checking account, which allows you to do exactly what I mentioned before, and you have the credit card option as well. In the middle here, you have your transfers tab, which I kind of already talked about before. You have the borrow, which allows you to trade on margin here or on your M1 Finance credit card. And finally, you have one of the other super cool features is the research tab. So this actually gives you a ton of behind the scenes information on a lot of these stocks that you're going to choose from. So obviously you have a ton of information on the Federal Reserve, the Russia situation right now, and just markets in general. You can click on any one of these and do in-depth research that M1 Finance provides for you. So for instance, you can go ahead and click on any one of these. It's going to bring up an article, read that article and get all sorts of information, and all of that is going to help you when making investment decisions. Also, it gives you some of the top index funds here. You've got the SPY, the DIA, and the QQQ. Again, all of this information is completely free and it helps you to make better investing decisions when you go to make your pie. And there you have it. That is the basics of M1 Finance. One of the coolest things about this app is it makes investing super easy and not difficult like it used to be. Way back even just 10 years or so ago, you had to literally go through a broker and sometimes spend hundreds of dollars in fees just to start investing and building wealth. Today, apps like M1 Finance make it super easy and accessible for anybody to start investing. And right now is literally the best time that you can start investing in the history of markets around the world. And personally, that makes me super excited because apps like M1 Finance are changing people's lives for the better. M1 Finance is allowing people to build wealth with no fees and on your own time. And I think that's pretty cool. Thank you so much for watching this video, everybody. That is it for me. Be sure to subscribe for more weekly investing app breakdowns and reviews and all of our other content here on Extra Guac. Thanks again for watching. Be kind out there, and I'll see you all in the next one.